War, to use slightly less sweary phrasing, is heck, although in Battlefield 5's recent closed alpha, it also makes for a ridiculously fun, not to mention destructive first-person shooter. Here are the 9 things we learned from the Battlefield 5 alpha. Once again returning to the war-ravaged plains of World War II, the extra shooty action of Battlefield 5's alpha takes place amongst the snowy hills of Narvik, Norway. This strikingly chilly setting proves the perfect location for tense battles, flag-capturing firefights, the odd spot of naughty camping, and epic dogfights in the frigid skies above. So get those rations packed, prepare to bleed out every 37 seconds, and watch out for falling Norwegian pines. Here are 9 things we learned from Battlefield 5's online alpha. Grand Operations is the new headline star of Battlefield's multiplayer, and it's a brilliantly back-and-forth addition to the explosive formula. Pitting 2 sides against each other over the best of 3 rounds, one team parachutes onto the ground and tries to destroy the opposition's bases, while the other attempts to destroy the enemy before the sabotage can succeed. Beautifully, the side parachuting down can be shot out of the air by particularly eagle-eyed recruits, while a twist to the 3rd round really spices the action up. Should a match reach the deciding round, every player is suddenly restricted to their primary weapon, while ammo also dries up. So, just like real war. Here's a little life lesson for you. Trying to steer and shoot a tank on your lonesome is a teensy bit difficult. In Battlefield 5, controlling a tank definitely isn't a one-person job. Not only do you have to steer these unwieldy beasts while avoiding copious enemy grenades, you also have to man 3 separate guns if you're going to bump up your KD. Turns out 1 into 4 is some pretty sad maths. If you manage to commandeer a tank, resist the urge to immediately go on what's likely to be a toothless rampage. Because Battlefield 5 won't let you steer and shoot a tank's mounted guns at the same time, solo soldiers have to manually swap between the 2, which is both cumbersome and leaves you ultra vulnerable to enemy fire. If you really want to go on a tank spree for the ages, wait until a few teammates are close by, then let them either take the wheel or man the behemoth's weapons. After all, the team that stays together, slays together. We're hit. Someone call a medic, who'll probably leave us to bleed out in the snow because they're too busy worrying about their KD ratio. Suffice to say, Battlefield 5's new revive system may prove controversial. When you're fatally shot in the alpha, your poor soldier dearly clings to life for a brief period, giving medics the chance to revive you with a syringe. Trouble is, slowly watching the life seep out of your recruit for the best part of 30 seconds quickly becomes dull, and medics have the pesky habit of ignoring fallen allies in favour of shooting the enemy. To the shooter's credit though, this revive bleeding out system does look pretty cool. Hearing the increasingly desperate pleading of your soldier really adds to Battlefield 5's constant sense of peril, and looking up at the sky as your bloody hands stain the snow is a powerful image. And if a medic does come to your rescue, the subsequent on your feet maggot animation is genuinely exciting. When the moon rises, Narvik is all sorts of eye-arousing. Though Battlefield 5's alpha is no graphical slouch during the day, it gets extra alluring at night. During certain matches of Grand Operations, darkness sets in and Battlefield 5 gets absolutely gorgeous. Despite all the tank fire, aerial bombardments and dramatic revivals, nothing can quite compare to the Northern Lights. Whether parachuting in against the glowing spectacle of the moon or messing dudes up during a daring nighttime assault, DICE's take on the Aurora Borealis is super sexy. There's a bad moon rising and we couldn't be more excited. Psst. Being a cowardly sniper can totally pay dividends. While it's certainly not big or clever, going prone, picking your moment and headshotting some poor individual can be as satisfying as all get out. Normally, your average spawn in Battlefield 5 will last 2 minutes, if you're lucky. A lot of the time, especially when parachuting down to terra firma during a Grand Operations match, you'll often be shot within seconds of popping up on the map. To improve your chances of survival, playing the long game, literally, can really extend your lifespan. Choose the Recon class and you'll spawn in with a sniper rifle, giving you the chance to take out rival players from hundreds of meters away. Narvik is a marksman's paradise too, filled with crater holes and tiny ridges from where you can line up the perfect shot. It's easy to lie on your virtual belly and blast fools unawares. Sneaky. So, just because you've got shelter over your head doesn't mean you're safe. DICE's penchant for destructive environments is especially evident in Battlefield 5. Not only do trees get regularly toppled over like flimsy toothpicks, but entire houses can be levelled by a well-timed airstrike or tank shot. Stick behind closed doors for too long, and the rudest of awakenings could await. Thanks to Battlefield 5's constant aerial threat, no virtual roof in Narvik is safe. Just because you've set up a cosy camping spot on that first floor balcony doesn't mean you can't be blown to smithereens. If an enemy pilot in the skies above drops an unerringly accurate payload, or someone inventive decides to attach C4 to the side of a building, you'll be killed by a collapsing ceiling. Not exactly the most noble way to go MIA. 30 seconds into Battlefield 5's alpha, and it's clear that being a lone wolf just won't cut it. While you can eke out a respectable KD ratio if you selfishly focus on pulling off as many headshots as possible, giving yourself over to the unit is the real way to succeed. Though straight up kills will reward you, DICE has also gone out of its way to incentivise selfless souls. Each of the game's 4 classes has unique abilities, and regularly using these skills to your teammates' benefit can reward you with hearty amounts of XP. Regardless of whether you're a syringe-happy medic, an ammo-spewing support soldier or recon-supplying sniper, playing to your class type's unique benefits has tangible, points-garnering rewards. Speaking of points, earn enough of those by being a kick-ass teammate, and Battlefield 5's command menu will be your best pal when the shooty chips are down. Perform well in the heat of battle, and eventually you'll be able to call upon a plane or tank thanks to the command menu. Spoiler, vehicular violence is a hell of a lot more potent than the boots on the ground kind. While tanks are relatively easy to control as long as you're backed up by friends, planes take serious mastery. Still, if you can get to grips with the mid-flight controls, airborne ass-kickery awaits. Unless you've got the absurdly speedy reactions of a Jedi, it's likely you'll die in Battlefield 5. A lot. If you're not careful, death will come for you from all sides. Stay in one place too long? Death. Go too gung-ho trying to capture a flag? Double death. Go overly cavalier in a plane? All the death. The key to enjoying Battlefield 5 is to take these virtual blunders in your stride. Every demise has a lesson to tell, and if you learn from your mistakes, you'll soon become a much more valuable recruit. After 10 or so hours with the shooter's alpha, we learned staying on the edge of the map, resuscitating teammates, and taking bad guys out from afar can pay off handsomely. So there you have it, 9 things we learned from Battlefield 5's alpha. Are you excited for EA's latest explosive shooter? Let us know in the comments below, drop us a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to Logitech G for more videos just like this one.